crystal babies for Gemini season. That is what we are talking about today. My friend, I have got the crystals that I love to use during Gemini season for you, some rituals that I love to do during summer season. And so if you already downloaded the Gemini guidebook, you're going to see these rituals. I did not put the crystals in with those rituals. So we're going to talk about that in this video, and then stay tuned to the end and I can tell you how you can get that guidebook with the step-by-step for those rituals for this Gemini season and summer season. Hey, my friend, Danny C. Mooney's here, your spiritual healer, helping spiritual awakened women leaders heal the past, present, and future so that they can clear away the generational, societal, ancestral, familial paradigms that no longer serve who they are as they pursue their soul's mission, their purpose. My friend, my favorite thing to do is to help you clear away what doesn't serve you so that you can raise the vibration of this planet, the consciousness. If you are on that path, hello, we are kindred spirits. We've got to work together. And so I'm here to help you do just that. If you are new here, be sure to hit subscribe. And if this video is resonating with you, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button for me, because I have not really done videos about, if you've been following me for a bit, I have not done videos about crystals or attunement. Actually, I don't think I've done any videos on crystals. And so I'm super excited to kind of venture in that for you, tell you a little bit how I like to work with crystals. And, my love for crystals, I would say, really, like I've loved crystals. Like I've always been attracted to them. But then when I went through my training to become an Akashic Records practitioner with Amy Robeson, that level of understanding and working with crystalline energy just amplified for me. And there is I would say, an obsession I now have with crystals. I generally wear my crystals. It's just what I love to do. I love to have them around or here on my desk, or you'll see back here, I have a crystal. I love to work with crystals. So I'm super excited to share kind of a little bit about what I do and how I'd recommend using these crystals during this Gemini season. Okay, so the first crystal that I want to share with you is aquamarine. So aquamarine, this is what it looks like. You can search Google for all the ones that I'm talking about, because I know the camera doesn't really pick up the beauty of this particular crystal. So you'll definitely want to Google this, or if you have a crystal book, definitely get one. If you are into crystals or you're just getting into crystals, I definitely recommend getting a crystal handbook of some sort. One of my favorites is Everyday Rituals by Naha Amadi. She was one of my spiritual teachers, my very first spiritual teachers back in LA. And she has a really beautiful book that has a number of crystals as well as rituals in there as well. So really fun things in there. So aquamarine, this is really good for cleansing, calming, relaxation, trusting, letting go. This is really, really good crystal for that. So I love this for Gemini season because it really helps bring that peace, bring that calm, bring some of that stillness, and allowing the thoughts to go through, because there is a lot of air energy, which is a lot of mental energy during Gemini season. It often is like we want to keep them all up in here, and that can be overwhelming, right? And so this can not only help like relax us and ease us, but it can also help us release the thoughts, like let them go, especially the ones that are just taking us where we don't really want to go. So I love to put this on third eye or crown, depending on how I'm doing my meditation. Sometimes if I'm really feeling a lot within my body, I might put it on one of my other chakras, depending on what I'm feeling. I might just put it in front of the bottoms of my feet. So sometimes I'll set up a crystal grid around me. So this is one of the reasons why I prefer, this is personal here, I prefer smaller sized crystals where I can put them around me during a meditation or during a healing. Like if you've ever done the new moon ritual with me, you'll know that I always put crystals out for our circle. If you've done a healing session with me, you'll notice that I'm always using crystals in that as well. And so I like to get smaller pieces so that I get like quite a few that I can put around. So this is why you'll notice that all of my crystals, they're not big. They're usually around this size so that I can do that, because I like to work with them in different ways. And so if I just had one piece, right, it'd be a little bit harder. Yes, I could hold it in my palm and that'd be great. Or I can just have it, you know, somewhere on my altar, but I prefer to have the smaller pieces. And so what I'd recommend is like, I either will put it here on my third eye if I'm like laying down. I'll put it on my crown if I'm sitting, or as I said, I'll put it in front, like one each in front of my feet. So even if I'm, you know, sitting cross-legged, or if I'm lying down and I'll put it, sometimes I'll do that as well. So just depends, but just to really help bring that peace and that calm. I also will put this by my bed sometimes during the evenings, although my love he is affected by crystals. If I have certain crystals in our room at night, he struggles sleeping. So he's very sensitive. So I definitely will bring it in sometimes, but it just depends. For him, this one's okay, but it's not, you know, I try not to disturb. He has like insomnia, so I try not to disturb that for him. But you can do that. Now, a couple of different things is there's a couple of different rituals that is in the guidebook that I like to do for this summer season. And so one of those rituals is programming. So this is something that you can do with any of the crystals that I'm talking about today, but in particular, this one is, you can program this to help you sleep, to help you relax, to help you calm down, to help you with letting go. Maybe there's something you're struggling with right now and you're, you know, needing some of that letting go energy. We do have this week, we've had some intense energy coming at us. And so we can use this to help let ourselves go of some emotions that we may be feeling. Again, sometimes I'll just put them in my hand and I'll just hold them and I'll just ask for them to help me let go, to help release. So that would be one of the rituals that I like to do, is just to program my crystals. And again, you can do that with any of these. The other thing is, so one of the rituals in there is sunbathing. So if you have not done either sunbathing or moonbathing, this is a really good time during summer to do some sunbathing. And so you can actually use this during your sun bath. Again, you can place it on the points that I mentioned earlier, or just put it around you as a crystal grid. And the other one that is in this this guidebook is the sun magic bath. And so I didn't talk about crystals in the sun. I didn't talk about like which crystals to use in the sun magic bath, but you can use this one in particular to help with that cleansing, right? Because that's one of the things that we do in that ritual, is a cleansing. So you can use that as the cleansing there, or you can simply just have it there to add to that peace and calm. All right, so the next crystal that I like to work with during the season is sodalite. Sodalite. Sodalite is, it's blue in color, and this is really peace of mind, emotional balance, helping to release anxiety or any negative thoughts or negative energy. In particular, negative thoughts though with this one. This also is really good for communication and helping you get things out. So if you pair this with the essential oil pairing that I gave you in our, it was like 2 videos ago, of cassia and grapefruit, this would be a really, really beautiful combination. So sodalite Again, you can use this in any of the places that I talked about with aquamarine. You can place this again, like on your forehead or your crown chakra. I actually prefer to place this one on my heart space. So the space at the center of my chest, tip of my sternum. So kind of just right in that area, just to kind of bring that peace into my heart. It's one of my favorite places to just kind of relax into. And so you can use the sodalite for that. I also have sodalite earrings. So I like to wear my jewelry or wear my crystals. So I do have sodalite earrings that I'll wear sometimes if I'm really looking to have more of that emotional balance, like especially when we have water moons, you know, and there's a lot of emotion happening, or I'm going to an environment where there may be some chaotic energy. I'll take either my sodalite with me, or I'll take my sodalite earrings, right? Another thing that you can do is place this one in particular on your desk or where you're working. So again, that's one of the reasons why I like to wear them, because I have them with me. But you can set these up. Like I can put these here with my candle or with my Palo Santo, and I can have that there where it's close to me, or I can have it right here. Sometimes I'll just have them on my laptop, just right, you know, like laying on my keyboard to kind of, you know, help with that energy as well. All right, the next one is tiger's eye. Tiger's eye. So this is a really good crystal. It's kind of brown in nature. This one I love because it's in a heart shape. This is for protection. This really helps with focus and dispelling fears, negative energy. It's a really good grounding crystal. So you can use this with the essential oil pairing we talked about of lemon and peppermint, along with this to really help you focus in. So I love to use this in particular just really on my desk or near where I am working. I would also say in the rituals that I love to work with tiger's eye is I especially like it when I'm sunbathing or moonbathing for that matter, but also for the sun magic bath. So anytime I'm doing something where there is a little bit more connection, where I might be calling in or setting up sacred space, I usually will use selenite. So this is my selenite wand, but I also have the selenite sticks, right, that I use around my space. But then I also like to add the tiger's eye for that extra focus and that extra protection. Now, one of the things that I love about tiger's eye is meditating with it. Really, like sometimes, you know, for a long time, I used to be very fearful of everything. I was a big news watcher, and I was always, you know, following you know, social media of like what was happening. And so I had a lot of fear within me. And so tiger's eye became like my number one. I used to have a bracelet, I had a necklace. They've all moved on from me now. And so this is the only piece of tiger's eye that I still have. And I just hold it in my hand, allowing it, asking it. So the really beautiful thing is that our crystal babies, they're energy, right? And they have their own, you know, soul, just spirit, just like our essential oils do. And so again, you can work with these, you can program these, right? Like this is programmed. It's actually programmed for my protection when I'm in the Akashic Records. But there is, you know, you can set it up for protection while you're meditating, or protection on the road, right? Protection when you're traveling. So there's any number of ways that you can use the tiger's eye, you know, in that program ritual as well. Okay, our next crystal baby is another one of my favorites, and that is yellow sapphire. So here I told you I do like to wear my crystals. I love jewelry that is, you know, crystal jewelry. And so I do have these earrings. I got these a long time ago when I started to work with my solar plexus chakra to really bring out that power, to call back my power, especially after, learning how to work with negative energy, and just kind of like dispel some of that fear that I had. I brought in this for some power, and really, it's really great to work with your sacral chakra. But this is prosperity, wisdom, putting things into action. So again, with that crystal, with that essential oil pairing, with the sapphire, gold right here, good for releasing fear as well. So again, this is why I used to work with these in particular, and I simply, because I only have sapphire, yellow sapphire in these earrings, that I only wear my yellow sapphire earrings. So whenever I want to feel in power, or whenever I am like wanting to really have some wisdom coming through, you'll see that these will come through with me. The other thing that I don't know if a lot of people talk about is that sometimes I don't wear these, right? I don't often wear these. You may or may not have seen me with these, but what I do is I will say, like, I will see them and maybe they don't quite fit with the outfit that I'm wearing that day, then I will simply just say, hey, I am, right, because we work with our crystal babies. I will say, hey, yellow sapphire, my babies, I am going to go out into the world today, and I really am asking you to support me in really showing up in my power. And I'm just pulling that energy in. And so maybe, and I'm out and about, particularly probably this comes more so during a networking event where I will say, like, especially if I'm speaking, I will say, like, okay, I'll call them in, right before my presentation or right before I walk into the networking event, just to help me with that. So they don't necessarily have to be with you, right? They can still be at home, and you can carry them with you. Or if you have a clear quartz, you can program that clear quartz with this energy and take that with you. So just some different things that you can work with. If you want more on this and how I work with crystals, let me know in the comments, and I will definitely put more videos out, because I love talking about crystals. Okay, the last one that, I'll just say this, these are really good for any of the sun magic or any sun magic that you're working with. So the sun magic bath ritual, the sunbathing, these are really good to wear or to have with you while you're doing those. Okay, our last one. Oh, and if you don't have, I'm reading my notes here. If you don't have the yellow sapphire, you can use citrine in replace of it. It's not as I would recommend the yellow sapphire, but if you don't have it, you can use the citrine. Citrine's a little bit it's a little more playful than yellow sapphire. Okay, the last one is our blue lace agate. Blue lace agate. Now, blue lace agate gives us that sense of freedom. It gives us that sense of joy, harmony, serenity, truth. And this is, optimism. I love blue lace agate for Jupiter, right? It's one of my favorites for Jupiter, because it is that very optimistic type energy, that really like adventurous type energy. And so with the blue lace agate, again, you can use in any of the ways that I've mentioned before, in your meditation or in your crystal grid, on your desk, especially if you're going into an environment that may be a little bit more challenging and you're just wanting some extra peace and harmony within that. I would also say in the rituals that we have in the guidebook, I would definitely say this is a really good one to put on in the bath if you're doing the sun magic bath, or even around in your bathroom. That's a really good one as well, or to place when you're doing the sunbathing or something like that. All right, I think that is it for our crystal babies for Gemini season. That wraps that up for us. So if you would like the step-by-step guide on the rituals that I talked about today, then I would highly recommend you've got to get the Gemini guidebook. It's our Gemini season guidebook, and it has all the crystals that I talked about here. It talks about different ways that you can work with them. It also has all the rituals that I talked about. And there's one that I didn't mention that you'll have to download the guide that you can find. That is our earth ritual. So you have to go check that one out. But you can definitely use all of these crystals in that particular ritual. But there also has in there all about the Gemini season, all about Gemini energy, and it has weekly journal prompts for your growth and personal spiritual development. So I would definitely recommend grabbing that. Now, if you are somebody who is like, well, I have crystals, I work with crystals, I have those, I like that, but I also, what about this crystal or what about that crystal? Or maybe you're looking for a more personalized reading around how these shifts, how this Gemini season or any zodiacal season for that matter may affect you, then I would highly recommend inviting you to book my #1 most popular reading, which is my Cosmic Insights reading. That is a reading where we get to dive into what the stars are asking of you right now. All of my readings are done within the Akashic Records. So we'll also get insights from the masters, teachers, and loved ones, your soul tribe, really giving you perspective on what is best for you right now in whatever it is that you are currently working through and going through. We'll also look at what crystal pairings would be great for you and where to place them, or what crystal grid maybe even to use during this season. I always have a crystal grid on my altar for the season in whatever it is, the energy that I'm working with and that I'm going through. And my #1 goal this time around is to be social on social. So this video is part of that, right? Is to put things out there more so on social. So if you are interested in that, you'll see a link down in the comments for that, for the guidebook, and anything else that I have going on in my world. I definitely recommend checking that out. All right, my friend, that wraps it up for our Gemini season, our crystal babies for Gemini season. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'd love to know which crystals are your favorites, what crystals you work with during this season. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them below. All right, my friend, as always, remember, close your eyes and take a deep breath with me. And find